Honorable colleagues, my name is Obinna Chidoka, representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. The Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this morning with a sense of responsibility and that of the frightening scenarios playing out today in our country to request my honorable colleagues that I bring this motion as a motion that is very urgent and, of course, of very public importance. And I want Mr. Speaker to please suspend the relevant rules that will allow me to take this motion that is based on the very frightening, as we discussed, the influx of small arms and light weapons. For us to take this matter now, it has become a very frightening issue for the relevant committees to take certain actions to be sure that we are safe and secured in this country. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Second limb of the motion, I will suspend rules to enable him take the motion. Honorable Namobi. Of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Chidoka, you can now move your motion.
My motion this morning is a resolution on the frightening influx of small arms and light weapons. Concerned that the Nigerian Customs Service had on 4 different occasions this year alone intercepted firearms smuggled into the country totaling 2,671 pieces, with the first arms seizure in January, the second in May, and the third and fourth in September 2017. Gravely concerned that the January 2017 firearm shipment was intercepted by the Nigerian Customs after it was purportedly checked and certified free to go with its deadly cargo, and had indeed left the premises of the port when it was tracked down after a tip-off. Worried that the recent firearm seizure, which is second in this month and fourth in 2017, will appear to suggest that the syndicate behind the influx of firearms into the country has stepped up their nefarious trade, with far-reaching consequences for our dear nation, as firearms and light weapons are the lifeblood of organized crimes and criminality. Also worried that the recent influx of firearms into the country has confirmed the recent report of the United Nations Regional Center for Peace and Disarmament in Africa, which identified Nigeria as a destination of choice for smugglers of small arms and light weapons. Gravely worried also, Mr. Speaker, that the Nigerian Customs Service might not be adequately equipped and or motivated to handle the influx of small arms and light weapons into the country due to the absence of very functional scanners at the port to enable the agency to effectively scrutinize containers in line with global best practices. Determined to address the menace of influx of firearms into the country to curb crime, criminality, and save lives. Accordingly resolves, Mr. Speaker, 1, to commend the Nigerian Customs Service for the seizure of 4 shipments of firearms into the country. Number 2, urge the Nigerian Customs Service and Directorate of State Security and the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to speed up investigations onto the firearms seizures and commence prosecution of the culprits to serve as deterrent to others. Number 3, call on the Nigerian Customs Service and other regulatory agencies to intensify port checks to control the influx of small arms and light weapons into the country. And finally, Mr. Speaker, that this House do invite the Nigerian Customs Service and the Directorate of State Security to brief the House on the comprehensive plan to rid Nigeria of the menace of small arms and light weapons. I so move, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Honorable Chidoka, please lead the debate.
If we have gone through yesterday's Daily Sun, that's Tuesday 26th, on the page 30, if I might just show my colleagues, what you have here is a write-up saying guns, guns everywhere. Implications, reasons for proliferation of arms and ammunition. And there is a quote by Marine Le Pen, which says that how can we think we are protected if terrorists can move freely, if weapons can circulate freely? Mr. Speaker, it's become of a grave concern to me as a person, to my family, to my friends, to all our colleagues, that in this country we are seeing shipments upon shipments of firearms into this country. And one of them in particular had already passed through the customs and gone onto the streets to its destination when, from a tip-off, the customs service was able to go after that shipment and bring it back. Subsequently, we have seen several of these shipments. Now we don't know how many must have passed through. Where are these guns going to? Who are those using it? Why are we seeing increase in attacks in some places? I said in my motion that we need to commend the Customs Service. Yes, we need to, because of course they've been able to intercept 3 or 4 other shipments. But what about those we are not sure of? Those who don't know where they are? I hear today in Nigeria, with 10,000 naira, you can buy an AK-47. You can buy any gun outside anywhere in this country. It's of a grave concern to me. Between Abuja and Kaduna, that cell operating there, they operate with guns. Where do they get it from? All the kidnappings going on, they come with huge, guns and, of course, firearms. Where did they get it from? One of the armed robbers that were intercepted in one of the states in Nigeria was asked, how come when the police people see you, they run? And he simply says, each magazine of the police have 90 bullets. We have about 7,000. So the police can't even match some of these gangs. We need to take a proactive action right now, Mr. Speaker, as, of course, a House of the People, elected by the people to represent the 360 constituencies in Nigeria, to assure our people of their lives and properties that they are safe in this country, that we are one in this country, and nobody will lose his life based on some light arms that were smuggled in this country. Mr. Speaker, I think it's high time we invite the relevant authorities to come before this House to give us a scenario on this frightening situation, to brief us on what they are doing to make sure that this incident does not continue. And then we'll, of course, trace some of them back to the port of origin. And federal government should interface with them to be sure that these guns are not shipped out. Before now, it used to be toxic waste. All over Nigeria, they dump toxic waste everywhere. How come our ports and Nigeria is a choice destination for anything that is bad in the world? Very soon now, they will start shipping people who are deported from other countries back to Nigeria. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we need to take this serious. We need to invite the Customs Service, the Directorate of the Department of, the Director of DSS, to come here and other military agencies to tell us what they are doing about it. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable colleagues. I so move.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it.